Halloween ends. Thank God. Now, if you saw my Halloween Kills review, I guess, from last year, you guys know that I'm not a big horror movie fan. I never have been. I just don't like the genre. Most of the movies just don't appeal to me. If there's a good one, I'll acknowledge it, but I think the original Halloween is pretty good. So, it's not like I intentionally go into every horror movie wanting to hate it. Like I said, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie. Same thing with every genre. If it's a good movie, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie. Simple as that. This is not a good movie at fucking all. And yeah, last year was Halloween Kills, and it made the honorable mentions for the worst of 2021. If you want to know my thoughts on the 2018 one, I don't remember a ton about it. I saw it a few years ago, but I don't remember a damn thing about it. I remember a few things, but not enough to give it a full verdict. I don't remember hating it, but I don't think I liked it that much either. So, Halloween Kills was trash. This is worse. Somehow. And I'll tell you why. I just said somehow, but I know how. For one specific reason. Halloween Kills was not boring. It was stupid as hell, but it wasn't boring. This movie is hands down one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. I said the same thing about Hocus Pocus 2 like a week ago, however long that was. This one is worse than Hocus Pocus 2. Because Hocus Pocus 2 is at least trying to have fun, because it's aimed for younger viewers. This one is not. There's nothing fun about this movie. There's not even, like, the fun, creative kills of Halloween Kills, even if a lot of those were really stupid. Like, one of the things I remember is, like, one of the scenes is where someone's, like, shooting at him while he's, like, in a car. He kicks the car door, and the door hits the gun, and has the chick point at herself by accident and shoots herself. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. But at least it was fun. Sorry, I've got the Jets-Packers game playing on my laptop over here, and Packers just got another fourth down. So, sorry, you do not care about that. I'm here to talk about Halloween Ends, not the freaking football game. But yeah, so there was a lot of stupid moments in Halloween Kills, but at least they were funny bad. This is, like I said, one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. And I think I say that at least once a month. But it's true. I keep seeing all these boring fucking movies. And it's not helped by the fact that Michael Myers does not show up until the 41-minute mark. I saw this on Peacock, so I checked. 41 minutes into the movie, this shape appears. And so, yeah. And he's basically a glorified cameo in this movie. I'm serious, he's barely in it. So this one's going to be pretty spoiler heavy because, honestly, I have no idea how to talk about this movie without going into spoilers. I'm dead serious. So if you want to see the movie, go watch the movie and then come back. Like, if you have Peacock, it's free. And I definitely don't recommend seeing this in the theater, trust me. Like, this was, like, I saw this for free on Peacock, and I still felt ripped off. So, yeah, I physically can't talk about this movie without going into spoilers. So, you've been warned. So, let's get into this. The main focus of this movie is around a guy named Corey, who, in the opening scene, accidentally kills a kid. And I do have to point out that this scene is so fucking long. He takes 5 minutes searching for this fucking kid before something actually happens. It is like 5 minutes of him just walking around searching for this fucking kid. And I don't like to say the kid had it coming, but he was not only an asshole, but he created the circumstances that led to his death in the first place. So, yeah. And he kills him by accident, and that kind of... And I think that's supposed to be, like, the year after the 2018 one and Halloween Kills, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, the rest of the plot revolves around this Corey guy, and basically follows his descent into madness into basically becoming the new Michael Myers. And I will say this, in a different movie, this could have been interesting. Having the town, like, constantly, like, see him as basically the new boogeyman since Michael Myers went MIA, and we'll get to that in a second, trust me. And he kind of descends into madness and goes and becomes the new serial killer. That could have been interesting if the movie wasn't supposed to be about Michael Myers. He has maybe 3 minutes of screen time in this sub 2 hour movie. So how is that possible? Like, when I told you this was a really boring movie, I meant it because nothing happens for the first hour of the movie. And there's a ton of moments that don't make any sense. Like, earlier on, when he first finds Michael Myers in the sewer, he doesn't kill him, and I guess it's because he sees, like, the serial killer inside of him or something, I don't know. But he doesn't kill him for whatever reason. He gets out and is greeted by this, like, hobo who's underneath the bridge that's next to the sewer. And he claims that he is Michael Myers, and Corey kills him in self-defense. Then and if that's true, that's bullshit, for one. I'm guessing this guy's just insane, I guess? I don't know, because I don't know what the hell that scene was about. It was entirely pointless, too. Well, relatively, but yeah, Michael Myers does not do shit until the last 15 minutes. And he's seriously he's spent the last 4 years just hiding out in this sewer. Why? What's the point? Because when I heard, after Halloween Kills came out, it was announced that Halloween Ends would take place 4 years, because Halloween Kills takes place directly after the 2018 movie. And then Halloween Ends takes place 4 years after Halloween Kills, so it kind of catches up to 2022. But this doesn't make sense. The way Halloween Kills ended made it seem like Laurie was going to go after him immediately. But after and especially in the alternate ending, which is far better, might I add, she calls Karen, I think was her daughter, played by Judy Greer in the last one, who died. She calls her, and Michael answers the phone, and she hears the breathing, grabs a knife, and, like, walks out of the hospital as if she's gonna go after him immediately. Yet 4 years pass, and he just cowers in the sewer for no reason. And to the point of him being able to be beaten and having his mask stolen by a 25-year-old who's, like, who's not that big of a dude. So he had no right to beat him in that fight. And I have to mention, that fight between Corey and Michael was shot so cartoonishly, I was laughing the entire time. Because they were wrestling and kind of falling in and out of frame. It looked like a cartoon. And that was the only time the movie actually made me unintentionally laugh, unlike Kills, where I unintentionally laughed like every 5 minutes of the movie. But the rest of the movie just nothing happens is the main problem. Corey goes on this killing spree in the last half hour of the film, then the real Michael Myers shows up in the last, 15 or 10 minutes, only to get his ass kicked by Laurie and Allison. Speaking of which, how did Allison survive in the last movie? It made it clear that I thought she was still at, the foot of the house when Michael got there after he killed all the people in the street, and he went up to kill her mother. Where did she go? We never saw her go anywhere. So, because I remember seeing her on the cast list, I'm like, is it going to be a flashback or something? It's like, no, she's still alive somehow. They never explain that. So, what else? I guess the John Carpenter score is okay. He did the score for Firestarter earlier this year, and it was relatively forgettable outside of one scene. But I guess the score is pretty, the Halloween score is, of course, iconic, but other than that, the music isn't that memorable, which is a crime when you have John fucking Carpenter doing your music. And there's gotta be something else to, I guess the guy who plays Corey, he's not a bad actor, but he's given such a terrible script. When he starts his, descent into madness, his acting gets better. I feel like he could have played, if this was a different movie, like I said, I think he could have played this role much better than he did here, but the way his character is written is so bad that I can't take the character seriously. And Laurie's just kind of here, she doesn't do a ton, and again, Michael Myers is a glorified cameo in this movie. this movie, I remember seeing the teaser trailer, and basically all it was the shot of her, like, of Laurie, like, hiding behind the wall, and Michael coming after her. I'm like, I knew that was going to be the climax of the movie, but how is it that in a movie called Halloween Ends, which is essentially, like, it's the finale, it's supposed to be, well, they'll probably reboot it in 5 years or something, but even if they do, this is supposed to be the finale, like, from the original, like, the original, it's the original, then the 2018, then Halloween Kills, then this one, so this is supposed to be the finale. How is it so... How is he barely in the movie? This should have been entirely about Laurie and Michael's dynamic, like, from the past 40-plus years at this point. So 1978, 44 years. I think that's right, 44 years. And he's barely in it. Laurie's barely in it, too. It focuses mostly on Corey and Allison. And if this wasn't the finale, and they had Corey become this, like, new Michael Myers or something, this could have been interesting. Like, but it's in the finale. Had they set this up to where maybe there was another one coming, which would have probably pissed me off even more, but still, had they set this up to where the original shape dies and Corey becomes the new Michael Myers to set up for the next movie, it might have been a bit more interesting. But the fact that this is supposed to be Laurie and Michael's final movie, it kind of forgets about that until the last 10 minutes of the movie, because the entire thing is about Corey's descent into madness, and Allison being with him is, like, trying to build up their dynamic. Speaking of which, those two characters have no chemistry whatsoever, and it's not just the actors, like, they kind of force these two together, and it's not natural at all. And like I said, the actors don't have a ton of chemistry, the characters have no chemistry, so why should I care? So, yeah, thank God this franchise is over, because these last two films have been god-awful. David Gordon Green should be ashamed of himself for this shit, because not only are these films amateurishly made, like, I don't remember a ton about the 2018 one, but I don't remember it being that bad. I don't remember it being great, but I don't remember it being that bad. These last two have been amateurish. Like, these feel like fan films. These do not feel like high-budgeted films coming out of Unifucking-Versal. These feel like like Halloween fan films you find on YouTube. I think those would be better. I think actually those would be better written. And again, if this wasn't a Halloween movie, if this wasn't a Michael Myers movie and was focusing on Corey, like, kind of delving, like, not delving, like I said, descending into madness and becoming the serial killer, it could have been an interesting film. But the simple fact that I'm just sitting there thinking, why is this a Halloween movie? And the finale, might I add, and the main focus of these films is barely in it. Like I said, he has maybe 5 minutes of screen time, and most of that's on the climax. And he's just hiding out in the sewer the last 4 years. And again, this should have taken place directly after Halloween Kills. This should have been about Laurie and Michael going at it one last time. But it wasn't. This was a meaningless detour in the final movie, and it was so poorly made that it's insufferable. Halloween Ends gets an F. Good God, I could not have predicted this movie would be this bad. I knew it was going to be bad, trust me, especially after I saw the reviews. I'm like, yeah, this one's getting roasted just as bad as the last one, but even the audience score is pretty bad on this one. I think the audience score on the... Hang on, let me... Give me just a second. I've got my laptop here, I might as well look. Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills. Bingo. Yeah, the audience score, the critic score is basically the same as it is now. Like, this one's at 39. Right now, Halloween Ends is sitting at 40. 66% audience score for Halloween Kills. And Halloween Ends is at 57. And I doubt it's going to go up. It'll go down, if anything. So yeah, this one's already getting roasted even harder than Halloween Kills. And good. This one is so much worse. And I could not have predicted that. Because at least, like I said, Halloween Kills was funny bad. It was so, like, incompetently made and lacking so much logic that it was funny. This one is just boring and insufferable to sit through. So that's all I got. Thank you all so much for watching. What do you think of Halloween, and what do you think of the Halloween franchise as a whole since it's finally over? I probably won't do a ranking of these ones. If I do, it'll just be the four. It'll be the original and then these last three, because I haven't seen every single Halloween movie, and most of those sequels I think I'm better off avoiding, like Halloween 4, 5, 6, The Resurrections, and the Rob Zombie movie sucked. Well, at least the second one does. First one's not that bad, but I digress. So yeah, that's all I got for this, and hopefully what I watch next is better. So I'll see y'all then. Bye.